The Republican Party jumped to the former president's defense, calling the Bragg indictment a political persecution.
This is about power. It is a demonstration of raw power. I think the Democrats know this has nothing to do with the law. They're sending a message, and the message is they will use any power that they have to interfere in the next presidential election.
It's duplicitous charging. They're trying to smear the guy. They're trying to take cases that nobody else would take and resurrect them. This is literally legal voodoo. This is political persecution.
I think the unprecedented indictment of a former president of the United States on a campaign finance issue is an outrage. I think the American people are going to look at this, see it as one more example of the criminalization of politics in this country.
Joining us now to react, the host of Life, Liberty, and Levin, Mark Levin. You watch him every Sunday. You see him every single day. When big things happen, and Mark Levin, a big thing has happened. You meet with the former president of the United States. You conduct an interview. As you're driving out, you get the news about the indictment. What was your thought?
My thought was that the country has changed now in a way that we have to try and claw it back, but it may be impossible. You know, Stormy Daniels denied this having any relationship with Donald Trump, too, in 2018 in a letter. Michael Cohen denied that Trump was involved in any payments in another letter in 2018 by one of his lawyers. So those are the facts. And Stormy Daniels got $130,000 in a non-disclosure agreement that was paid by Michael Cohen, and she violated that agreement. I mean, nobody even brings that up. And people are signing non-disclosure agreements. Companies do it. District attorneys do it. U.S. attorneys do it. The Department of Justice does it. The CIA does it 1,000 times a day, 10,000 times a day. The idea that this could be a federal campaign finance violation is preposterous. It wasn't paid out of any donor funds or campaign funds. The idea that the statute of limitations for the state didn't run is also preposterous. This is a nonsense case. I guess they'll say there were some papers that weren't filed properly, which is also ridiculous. This is a former president of the United States who is the leading Republican nominee right now to be president of the United States in the next campaign. The Democrat Party is targeting him at the federal level, at the state and local level, at every level. And they have criminalized this entire process. They want to put the Republican Party out of business. That's why they want to change the voting system. That's why they want to get rid of the Electoral College. That's why they want to pack the Senate with 4 more Democrats.
Right.
They want to pack the Supreme Court when they don't like how the Supreme Court rules. They open the borders up because they don't particularly like the citizenry and the way the citizenry votes. This is a massive move by the Democrat Party, which in many ways is a totalitarian party. Biden operates through executive orders. He operates through fiats. He operates through the bureaucracy, not through the legislature. And this is more of that. This war on Donald Trump is intended to stop any pushback on what's taking place in Washington, D.C. It's intended to put him out of business. They like the Larry Hogan types, the Asa Hutchinson types, your buddy Chris Christie. They like types like that. And, you know, this keeps up. You're going to have to change the name of your show from One Nation to Two Nations, because that's what's happening in this country right now. Every Republican, every conservative, every wise independent, moderate Democrat has to say to themselves right now, this isn't a free country. This is some kind of tyranny where they're targeting parents, where they're targeting pro-lifers, where they're targeting this former. Do you know, Brian, that there are 4 grand juries in operation right now?
Yep.
4. In 3 Democrat states. For what? For what? Over a documents case? In the Washington case? January 6th, they're going to try and criminalize it when that's supposed to be handled by Congress, and they're going to try and pin it on Trump. In Georgia, where he's find some votes. Everybody says find some votes. And then, of course, in Manhattan, where there's no federal law, no state law, the facts don't work, nothing works. So all this benefits Joe Biden and the Democrat Party. That's it.
And real quick, we only have about a minute left, but the president, the man you were talking to with his family that you went back and had dinner with, do you think he's ready for this fight?
Well, that was your question. I'm sorry. He struck me as more than ready. He is not going to bend over backwards for these prosecutors. He knows he didn't do anything wrong. This is a man who could have retired many times already, and he's not going to retire. He's got a lot of pride. He's a very nice man. He's a very courageous man, and he knows what's going on. He's smart. Right. He sees what's going on, and there's every indication he is going to fight like hell every step of the way, and he's doing it, frankly, not just for himself, but all the people who have voted for him, all the people who support him, right, and for all the policies that he promoted. This is a man who loves the country. You know, when you hear Joe Biden, he doesn't sound like a man who loves the country. He keeps talking about white racism and right, equity, and they talk about reparations and all the rest. Trump loves America. Biden does not love America. It's that simple.
It's hard to argue with that.